So we need to bring it to the standard form, right? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Then after that, you need to use the formula and solve this. That is, how to say, the ideal solution. Actually, when you just solve this, here, your solution is correct. Everything is correct. But still, we are a bit doubtful, actually. Do you know how to bring a given equation into the standard form or not? That is mathematical discipline. When we are solving something, first we have to bring it into the standard form, then we can apply the formula or anything. Okay, the first feedback here. And the second one is, you got this one using a calculator, right, Amira?
Yeah.
Did you use a scientific calculator, or you just use a calculator on Google or internet?
Scientific.
So what did you get in your calculator? 7, 4, after 4, what did you get? I mean, 7.
I'm not sure. I think I did get 6, but I rounded it up because of the number afterwards.
I see. And you need to check again, actually, when you do this, if you write the whole expression here, that's 7 minus square root of 209 over 10, you will get here minus 0.7456. Okay? So that is 5, 6. When you round off this, that will be 747. Because, and as you know, in GCSE, even if you make this mistake, you will lose some points, at least like maybe 10% something. Okay? Since you are using allowed to use a calculator, you need to write exact answer here. I mean, that's correct a certain decimal place or not. So I'll continue with the equations. Yeah, no problem. And only this kind of equations, you just wrote, leave your answer, actually left your answer in improper fractions if nothing is mentioned in the question. But usually if nothing is mentioned, you better leave your answer in both forms, like improper and immediately also write as a mixed number. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, usually in the exams they mention this, leave your answer as a mixed number or improper fraction or decimal form. But here, if nothing is mentioned, my suggestion is you need to leave in both forms. Okay, I move down. All right. Question 5. I'm at the question 5B. You put a star, I think. You didn't understand this, or what happened to this question?
I didn't know how I could solve it. I understood the question, but not how to solve it.
Okay. We will do this a bit later together. Let's finish this one because I just noted here these 3 questions you actually did incorrectly or you didn't do anything. So you are going to do it now. How about question 6? For example, here it says that given that x to the power 27 equals 27 to the power of 0, find the value of x. In this kind of questions, as you see here, the question is not difficult, right? What we expect from the students actually, do they know how to apply the properties? So if you are required to show your steps or work, you need to show one by one. Like for example, x to the power 27, right hand side, we simplify this, 27 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And how can I get x here? So actually we need to raise to the power of 1 over 27, right? So here we will have, maybe you can write here, x to the power of 27 to the power of 1 over 27. Also on the right hand side, we have 1 to the power of 27. Or we can take 27's root of both sides, okay? Then at least we can see that, okay, how you solve this. This one, x equals 1, it doesn't give the full picture of your actually your how to say your methods. Actually just use guess and trial methods, or you use these methods, okay? And that's why you better show at least 2 or 3 steps in these questions.
Okay.
All right, here 6B, and also this thing, I don't know, maybe you got confused with these units. You will do this a bit later because also 6B, this 6A, 6B, right? That is wrong because you confuse with units here. Actually, you're supposed to write here centimeters. So a map is drawn to the scale 1 to 50,000. It's a ratio, right? Ratio means units are the same. That's why we cancel them out. That means if it is 1 centimeter, that is 50,000 centimeters. So If you just change this into kilometers, right, at that time it will be 16 kilometers. And the same mistake here, if the lake is a square. So since the perimeter is given 32, if it is a square, one side of the square must be 8 centimeters, right? So from here, then we need to find the area. 8 times 8 is 64 centimeters squared. Then we have to change this into kilometer using this scale. Okay?
Okay.
Now also you'll do this a bit later because wrong question. If you do, that would be much better for you. At least you don't make this mistake again. How about question 7? The world's largest fountain situated in Suntec City. I have you never visited this part of the world, right, Amira? Like
No, I haven't.
Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Thailand. Anyway, this very completely different, how to say, different from many other countries. That's why this Pacific region, life in Europe it is different, life in USA it's different, life in South America is different, life in Central Asia it is different, Middle East is different. Also, it's like this. Also here, life is very, very different from other parts of the world. Anyway, this Suntec City, it's a huge fountain actually in Singapore. Everybody comes to Singapore, usually they visit this. And actually Singapore is a very small city. It's a country, at the same time it's a city. Actually maybe 2 or 3 days you can visit every part of Singapore. It's a huge fountain. It's really, really beautiful. And it says that it has a total area of 1,683.07 meters squared, or square meters. Okay, that is the total base area. So it is circular. How many people can stand on the walls of if each person occupies a standing area of 420 centimeters squared? Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. Okay, you need to divide this, but I think again you got confused with the units. As see here, it's given in square meters, right? And here, it is standing area of the people is given in square centimeters. So either you have to change square centimeters into meters square, square meters, or square meters into centimeters squared. Then we can cancel them out and simplify this. Okay, but you didn't do that. Or actually here it is area, not the length. You just multiply by 100, right? So here meter squared means 100 centimeters squared, that is 10,000 square centimeters. 1 meter squared equals 10,000 centimeter squared. That's actually, it was your mistake, and the rest, I think they have no problem. And also this thing is fine, your math is good, but what I suggested in this kind of questions, what is this? It is equations involving algebraic fractions, right? Algebraic fraction means a fraction that involves a variable. So you better bring both sides, or actually on the left hand side we have only one fraction. On the right hand side, represent this as a single, as a single fraction, then cross multiply. That method will be faster and easier. And that is here, you need to bring it's a common denominator, and usually in this, students make a mistake. Okay, it's a longer methods. Okay, like right hand side, 1 plus 5 over x plus 2. If you bring into a common denominator, x plus 2, x plus 7, right? And cross multiply and take everything to the left hand side. That will be easier and much better. But I don't know which one you prefer. But the thing is, and another thing is, when you're writing this kind of things, you better take everything to the left hand side. Okay. Is this writing wrong? It's not. But according to math tradition, we write unknowns on the left-hand side and numbers or constants on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And here you just made a small mistake. You see here you have x times y squared cubed. Also, this cube belongs to this x, right? I think you forgot to put here. That should be x cubed times y to the power 6. And also, as I told you, Amira, in this kind of questions, you need to, if you are required to show your work, you need to show this like since multiplied, right? Bases are the same, so we have to add their exponents. So this 3 plus -2, if it is divided, we have to subtract. Then if you simplify this, we can see that this student knows how to simplify this thing. Okay. And as you do this step by step, but in one step, we can do this because multiplied, we should add. Divided, we should subtract. And simplify, that's it. Also question C, I mean, you just did this mentally, I think. Okay, but here, again, you need to show one step. Okay, this is multiplied, bases are the same. So 1/2 plus 3/2. Okay, from here, I see that the student knows that we need to add the exponents, right? If the bases are equal and they are multiplied. Then after they can simplify this. Okay, showing work means this. You need to show this step. Okay? Okay. And you have one small mistake in question 9. And also maybe, I don't know, you got confused. Why did you put 2 here, Amira?
Oh yeah. It should be 1 because it's bigger than or equal to 1, so it should be 1.
We are dividing x by or something by another thing, all right? So to get the minimum value, that x must be minimum, y must be maximum. If actually both numbers have the same signs, that's why minimum value of x is 1/6. So it is 1/6. Okay. This then no problem. So now, Amira, can you open the last file I sent you, the test 1 copy? And you solve it. I will just give you some, maybe if you need help, or you'll do that, okay? And we will finish this test 1.
I should solve what?
Yeah, I will tell you first. Can you open it? First, share your screen with me, and can you open that test 1 copy I sent to your WhatsApp?
Okay.
I'm gonna open with Microsoft Edge. First, download it, and can you open with Microsoft Edge? Okay, can you zoom in a little bit? Good, that's enough. All right. Can you go to question 5B? Okay, good. Let's solve this. Read the question and let's think together, do it together.
The perimeter of a rectangular cardboard is 500 centimeters and its area is 14,400 centimeters squared. Find the dimensions of the cardboard.
Okay, on the right hand side, let's just draw that rectangular cardboard. Right, and let's say this width is A and length is B, or WL, whichever you like. Let's label its width by W and length by L. No, length is the longer side, right?
Is it? Oh, I never really paid attention to what side is what.
Yeah, usually in rectangle, length means longer side, width shorter side. Okay, so now perimeter, the first one, you can just put number, first write 1 and close with brackets on the left hand side. Good. So P equals 2 times L plus W, right? Oh, can you just write to outside the brackets and write this in 2 times L plus W? I mean, can you just write L like italic L? It looks like 1. You may get confused later. Or you can just write capital L also, it's fine. Oh, it's better. Okay. Okay, equals 500, right? Okay, from here immediately let's just find L plus W. L plus W equals 250. Good. No, you don't have to write centimeters after once we write the equation. Okay, find the dimensions means we need to find the length and width. If it is three-dimensional object or solid, that means that we need to find its length, width, and height. If it is four-dimensional, then we need to find four dimensions, right? One-dimensional thing, let's say it's a line segment, we need to find its length. Anyway, this is two-dimensional figure. So when we say dimensions, we need to find its length and width. So from here, let's first immediately express W in terms of L, right? Or L in terms of W, it doesn't matter. Let's find W first. W equals 250 minus L. So that's what we have. At least this shows us how W and L are connected to each other. All right, now let's just write the second piece of information. What is given here? The area is given, right? So A, capital A equals number 2, L times W, right? The area of the rectangle is L times W, length times W, width. So that's equal to 14,400. Okay, now we have two equations. We have two variables. We can solve this now. From the first one, we know how W and L are connected to each other. So let's just substitute that 250 minus L for W and solve it. Also after this, can you write equals 14,400? Okay, when you are solving equation, every row you need to write the full equation. Or write it on the right hand side. Okay. All right. Since L squared, no, you don't have to write units after once you get the equation.
Okay.
Because why is it so? We are changing this geometry equation into algebra equation. That means dimensional equation into dimensionless. That means that because L times W in the first equation, L is L centimeters, W is centimeters, right? In the first step, actually, we are doing this mentally. We are canceling out those things because to solve this equation, we don't need those units.
Okay.
Good. All right. As you see here, it's a quadratic equation. Let's take everything to the right-hand side. And can you solve it, Amira? As fast as possible. I take everything to the right-hand side. What we have here? L squared. No, I don't write L squared first.
Oh, isn't it negative? It will be negative L squared.
Yeah, L squared, if you take everything to the right-hand side, minus L squared, it becomes plus, right? L squared minus 250L plus 14,400 equals 0. Okay. Actual coefficient is constant term, big number. So maybe you better use a calculator and solve it using a formula.
Okay.
Okay, Amir, can you just write L1 and L2? Okay, so now let's find the width. So what is W1 then? If L1 equals 90, W1 just next to that L1. Can you write W1? W1 equals 250 minus
Minus 90, so.
160. And W2, actually both answers represent the same rectangle, right? So what is the question? The question is just dimensions, right? Then you can write that dot, dot, dots. Since actually in rectangle, width is shorter than length, so we should take the second one, right? W equals 90 and the L equals 160. Or we can also, in the final answer, okay, now you don't have to write this. Also, you need to write the units, 90 centimeters and 160 centimeters.
Okay.
Good. Let's move to the next question, 6B. Okay.
6B, right?
6B.
A map is drawn to the scale 1 to 50,000. A representation of the lake on the map has a perimeter of 32 centimeters. What is the actual perimeter of the lake? Correct answer in terms of kilometers.
Okay. So right now, what shape is the lake? We don't know, right? So we cannot draw anything. It is a circular or rectangular or square. Actually, it's given in this next question. So what we have to write here is just perimeter, right? Perimeter on the map. That is 32. So how do you write this? Using the scale, that is 1 centimeter. Oh, no, you don't have to write this. Can you just write 1 centimeter? In this case, how do we solve this? 1 centimeter, arrowhead, okay. 50,000 centimeters, right? Okay, now just below this, then we have to find that the percentage of the lake on the map. What is the actual perimeter of the lake? So that is 32 centimeters. Just below this, arrowhead, X centimeters. Okay, usually this kind of scale problems, this is how we solve this because it's related to rate ratio problems. Draw a line. Yeah, under this 32 and X. Good. Then next we could just cross multiply. 1 times X, it is X, equals 32 times 50,000 centimeters squared, right? Actually, the unit is centimeter. So can you just write X on the left-hand side? You don't have to write centimeter. X equals, if you cross multiply 1 times X, X, right? That's on the left-hand side. So X equals 32 times 50,000. No, can you delete the CM? We will put the units in the final answer. Okay, on the left-hand side, write X equals.
On the okay. Wait, on the right or on the left?
No, X is on the right, on the left, because first you multiply 1 times X. When you cross multiply, on the left we have 1 times X, on the right we have 32 times 50,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just simplify only. Just evaluate this equals 160 and 4 more zeros in centimeters, right? CM. It says express your answer in terms of kilometers, so we have to change this into kilometers. 100 centimeter, 1 meter, and 1,000. So that's equal to. No, in kilometers, Amira, in kilometers. Can you change the centimeter into kilometers? No, why? 100 centimeter is 1 meter, right? 1,000 meter is 1 kilometer. So we need to divide this by 100,000. 1 kilometer equals 100,000 centimeters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you should divide this by 100,000. So that's equal to 16 kilometers. That's it. Can you do question 2? In similar way. I mean, let me just.
Okay.
So now if the leg is a square, so you better draw. Can you draw it? A square, small square. Perimeter is 32, right?
Yeah, but in kilometers. I want to do it in kilometers.
Okay, all right.
Is that right? Because there's 4. Because
Kilometer squared, right? Square kilometers. It's the area. And can you also write on the left hand side that capital A equals, as we are finding the area, so that you don't get confused. A equals, okay. Good. Actually, if you write there, if you label the side of a square here, Amira, it will be more clear actually. Your result. Can you just put? Can you mark each side of the square and put A, label by A? Okay. No, not like that. Can you just write A? Just write. Can you mark each sides and just put one A? That's enough. No, just put a mark in the middle of the one side of the square.
a mark. Here.
Yeah, like a prime. Yeah, like that. Okay. To show that all sides are equal. Okay, just put A on one side. That's enough. The lowercase a.
Oh.
No. Near the side of the square. Okay, good. If you're close, it will be better. Now, if you just write that perimeter equals 4A equals 16, from there you need to find this. Actually, you are writing square root of 16. I don't know why did you write like that. Because perimeter is given, right? I mean, can you just write below this capital A, right? Capital P equals 4 times A equals 16. So from here, A equals, no, you don't have to write the units. A equals 16 over 4. Equals 4. Actually, this is how we find one side of the square. Now, this is your final answer. Now you can put the unit here, the 4 kilometers. So now using this, we will find the area. Then area equals, capital A equals A squared. Now you can just substitute this 16 kilometers squared. Actually, you are supposed to solve like this, step by step. Well, why did you write the square root of 16, Amira?
Because I was trying to say that if you need to square it to find the area. So if you square root it, you find one side.
Actually, we are trying to find the area. Area is not given, right?
Yeah.
The perimeter is given. Using this perimeter, then we find one side of the square, then find the area. Okay. Now, can you move to 7A? All right. I think your method was correct, but only your calculation was wrong, right? So first, we need to actually convert both units to the same units. And which one is easier? Changing meter square into centimeter square is easier, right? Let's find the total base area. You can just write capital T and something equals no, can you write it not like this? I mean, can you just write it? Can you delete centimeter squared and put a decimal point after 3 times? Instead of 1 meter, write 100 centimeter in brackets. No, 100 centimeter in brackets, both inside the brackets. Okay. Squared. No, outside the brackets. Here, Amira, here we have 1 meter square, right? What does 1 meter square means? It is a square. Each side is 1 meter, 1 meter. So we are changing 1 meter into centimeter. What is 1 meter? 1 meter is 100 centimeter squared outside. This is how we convert meter square into centimeter squared. So now remove the brackets, right? Equals from the new row equals, okay, 1683.07 times, what is 100 squared? It is 10,000, right? Now centimeter squared, it is centimeter squared. Okay, now we can multiply this. So that's equal to, what is it? 1683.07 and 2 more zeros. No, you're multiplying by 110,000, right? That is, we have 2 more zeros. Okay, good. So give you answer correct to the whole number. All right. How many people? So actually, we should write that let n be the number of people who can stand on the walls, right? Then n equals, it's our second step, okay? N equals the capital T over, let's say capital A. Now, can you just write it as a fraction? That is much better. Over capital A. Good. Now let's just write, substitute their values. Capital T equals 1683.0700 centimeters squared. Also put centimeters squared. Okay. So now we cancel them out. Now can you write the answer? So actually, in the exam, how would you write this? Dot, dot, dot. So 40,074 people can stand on the walls, right? 40,074 people can stand on the walls. Okay. I mean, you can save this. You know how to save this, right? You can change the name if you need. I mean, in case for your future. So this is how we actually discuss the test after you submit. All right, you submit this within maybe 1 or 2 days. I will mark it, and after that, if the questions are wrong, and we'll just discuss it together, or you may solve this.
Okay.
Let's see. And I'm expecting that every time it gets better and better score. Our purpose is not getting better score, but understanding the problem and writing step by step. And after that, writing your final answer. That's also how to say. Actually, it will be very useful for your future studies and even for your career. Everything systematic way. That is step one, step number two. So that's the result. And what does the result represent? And the writer knows. Okay. I mean, let's have a break. All right. After 10 minutes, we will continue.
Okay. Wait, how do I?
You can save and you can exit.